miles away. Once there was an African love song, helped us on our way, made our hearts feel that strong. As the African day, singing bye bye December African rain. Long gone summer has passed and I hear the owls calling my name.
Dad is flown across the ocean, leaving just a memory. A snapshot in the family album. Daddy, what else did you leave for me? Daddy, what you leave behind for me? All it was just a brick in the wall.
What we remember most about South Africa is a place we discovered with our friend Terence. On the map, we could see a big cape sticking out 7 miles to sea. A point of land called on the map Cape St. Francis. It was about 3 miles across these sand dunes to the water. We had no idea what was on the other side, but we'd come halfway around the world, so we thought we'd go take a look. We struck off across the sand dunes, led by our friend Terence of Africa. When you go looking for surf, you don't look for a really big wave. If you found one, you'd never ride it in strange waters. It would be much too dangerous. What every surfer dreams of finding is a small wave with perfect shape, what we call a perfect wave. The odds against finding that are 10 million to 1. They finally got their first look at Cape St. Francis, South Africa. Can't tell how good a wave is till you actually ride it. On Mike's first ride, the first 5 seconds, he knew he'd finally found that perfect wave.
I've always been interested in sailing and boats, and I've represented South Africa on 3 occasions in the Hobie Worlds. I've completed several Cape to Rio races, and I've always had an interest in boating. In the 80s, my property development company did well, and I was able to think about getting my own boat. I contacted Angelo Lavronros. He was then living in South Africa, and he's really world-renowned as a top-class yacht designer. And out of that sprang our first St. Francis 43. This was a lovely boat, and I was busy building one boat for myself, and I was going to take the family cruising. A friend of mine came along and said, "Hell, Duncan, this is a nice boat, can I have one?" And I was thinking that, you know, if I did things a little bit different, I could make it a little bit better. So I said, "Sure, you can have this one." And exactly the same thing happened with another friend, and then another. That was actually the birth of St. Francis Marine.
sailing home again, across the sea. I am sailing stormy waters to be near you, to be free. I am flying, I am flying like a bird.
Over the years we've built up from, started at 43, we modified it and won a Cape to Rio race in 44. We then built a 48, and now we've refined the 48 and we've now got a 50. The 48 was a fine boat, we built 8 of them. The only thing, people are requiring bigger and bigger yacht tenders, and the 48 was feeling a bit squat with a heavy tender with a 60 horsepower 4-stroke at the back. But with the 50, this handles it easily. It's got such a smooth runoff, it's really a pleasure to sail. The 50 has all the space, grace and pace that one will want. Here we have the mold room. The molds are in one piece, in other words a separate piece for the hull and another piece for the deck. This, when they are bonded together, leads to a strong monocoque construction, rather like an eggshell, and hence our boats are very light and very strong. This is the second stage now. Here we have the molds that, well, I should say the hull and deck, which have now been removed from the molds, and this is the bonding process. They lower the deck down onto the hull. The hull deck joint is both, first of all, glued. It is then glassed over on the inside, and then we'll put belts and braces and an extra safety gear thing all around the rubbing streak. It is screwed, and there's no ways that this boat will ever separate between the hull and deck. You will see that the hull and the deck, where the join is, there is no foam. So it's just joint on glass on glass. We then winterize the boat, because where you leave it just a plain glass skin, you will get condensation. Now we add another layer of foam, which is purely as an insulation, and it's lightly glassed over. It's not structural at all. Now here we are virtually in the closing stages of putting a boat together. Here now we've got the furniture pieces going in, the electricians working, plumbers are here, so it's a bit crowded, but you can really get more of a feel of a boat coming in all together. All the wiring you see is actually tinned silicon copper wire, and it's the same wiring they use in aircraft. In other words, if you had a short, and a dead short, and it got very hot, the silicon does not burn and it would not start a fire.
I am sailing home again, across the sea.
As you can see, this boat is in cherry. Now, our client has a choice of the timber that he wants to use, a choice in layouts, and we go over backwards to fulfill every need.
I am flying, sky. I am flying, passing high clouds to be there.
On the last boat that I took over to the States in order to show off at the Miami show, I decided to take a bit of a holiday, and instead of taking 30 days to get from here to the States, we dilly-dallied, and we probably took about 8 weeks and stopping along the islands on the way, and we had a very, very lovely time. On this trip, we'd be in the trade winds, and I had a novice crew, so we decided to put the boat to sleep, or at least I decided to put the boat to sleep every night. In that, I mean, we used to drop the Jenica and just pull out the Genoa, and in that way, even a novice crew, if a squall or something, a hurricane hit us, we'd probably be fine. And even under these conditions, we averaged well in excess of 200 miles a day. This is really a tribute to Angelo's foresight and thoughts on his hull design. He's an amazing man. He lived in South Africa. He designed many very famous racing boats. One was for John Martin in one of the around the world races, and you may recall that he actually was leading the world in this race, and he hit an iceberg down in the roaring 40s. There was a terrific rescue done by Bertie Reed in his boat called Guernica, and he single-handedly managed to maneuver in the roaring 40s in horrific conditions and rescue John Martin. But that was the quality of Angelo's designs, that he's really ahead of his time. And in fact, so much so that when we moved up from the 44 to the 48 and the 50 foot, we're so impressed with Angelo's designs that we again commissioned him on the 50. Reasons to buy a St. Francis. I think one of our most compelling reasons to buy a St. Francis is your excellent resale value. Take moorings. They produce boats by the thousands, and one of their 50 footers or 47 footers they can put together in something like 7,000 man hours. When you look around this boat, I think you'll believe me when I tell you that it's taken us 30,000 man hours to put this boat together. This work and the dedication of our staff, I think, has paid off tremendously. You go and look at any sailing magazine and try and find a second-hand St. Francis, and I bet you in that you'll probably find one or two, and the price they're asking is often, well, certainly more than the original purchase price, and often as much as the purchase price today. As you can see, our standard St. Francis Marine is well equipped. Our basic sailaway, I think, includes a lot more. For instance, I know the French, you've virtually got to pay extra just to get the sails. Here, however, we're pretty well equipped, and this boat's even better than most. We can bring up on our computer here the charts, do your plotting from the comfort of the helm, and at the same time do all your emails and whatever you want to do right from this station.
Well, the river is wide and the water is deep. I got no money and I can't get to sleep. Takes all my courage to look down that long road. I'm going to Kiani, such a heavy load. I got 2 si vende.
Don't give up, sing tight, quena.
Uva papeli.
Don't give up, sing tight, quena.
Au kumbele si vende.
Don't give up, sing tight, quena. Yo, 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 yo.
Ah, I'm going to Kiari.
Say these are somebody, somebody.
I leave all of my troubles behind me. Yeah.
Say these are somebody, somebody.
Oh, you know I won't be going to Kiari.
Say these are somebody, somebody.
Ay, 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 ay. Touch that magic mystery.
Say these are somebody, somebody.
Did you hear about the mouse? Went to the cat for love. The cat said, mouse, can be what you're dreaming of. You so lonely, you got it mixed up. You are looking down below for what lies up above. You gotta
Sing tight, quena.
Ongele se vende.
Don't give up, sing tight, quena.
Uva pambele.
Give up, sing tight, quena.
Ongele se vende.
Don't give up, sing tight, quena. Yo, 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 yo.
Ah, I'm going to Kiari.
Say these are somebody, somebody.
Ah, gonna leave my troubles behind me.
Say these are somebody, somebody.
Oh, you know I will be going to Kiari.
Say these are somebody, somebody.
I wanna touch that magic mystery.
Say these are somebody, somebody.
Hey, these are something.
Got out of town on a boat on the southern islands, sailing to reach before a following sea. She was making for the trades on the outside, and the downhill run to Papa Ete. Off the wind on this heading line, the Marquesas. We got 80 feet of a water line, nicely making way in a noisy bar in Avalon. I tried to call you, but on a midnight watch I realized why twice you ran away. Think about how many times I had fallen. Spirits are using me, but your voice is calling. What heaven brought you and me cannot be forgotten. I have been around the world, looking for that woman girl who knows love can endure, and you know it will. When you see the Southern Cross for the first time, you understand now why you came this way. 'Cause the truth you might be running from is so small, but it's as big as the promise of a coming day. So I'm sailing for tomorrow, my and my love is an anchor tied to you,
tied with a silver chain.
I have my ship and all her flags are a-flying. She is all that I have left,
And music is her name.
Think
about how many times I have fallen. Spirits are using me, but your voice is calling. What heaven brought you and me cannot be forgotten.
around the world.
I have been around the world,
Looking
looking for that woman there. No love can endure.
and you know it will, and you know it will. So we cheated and we lied and we tested, and we never failed to fail. It was the easiest thing to do. You will survive being bested. Somebody fine will come along, make me forget about loving you. In the Southern Cross,
We'll go spin and glide. You got no place to hide, 'cause you don't need one. All along the lee shore, shells lie scattered in the sand, winking up like shining eyes at me. From the sea, here is one like sunrise. It's older than you know, still just lying there where some careless way forgot it long ago. When I awoke this morning, I dove beneath my floating home, down below her graceful side in the turning tide. Watch the sea fish roll. There I heard this story from the sailors of the San Marie. There's another island, it's a day's run away from here, and it's empty and free. to sea than 100,000 islands flung like some jewels upon the sea. Be me, yeah. Sunset smells of dinner. Women are calling at me to end my tale, but perhaps I'll see you the next while.